Hey all, time for a Tammy Talk. Different format. I know I don't typically do a full body shot on my videos, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for my year-end review and my day 90 video. So as I pledged, I am finally finishing up my 90-day challenge, and this is my final video, and I wanted to do it as a year-end review and as a 90-day review because this has been a heck of a year for me. And you know, this page is called Transformation, Excellence, Affirmation, Mindset for a lot of reasons. When I started the page, it was because I was going on this transformational journey, and I knew that I was embarking on a crazy long journey, but I've gone so far already just in the course of this year, and it's so exciting because I can't wait for what's coming. It's just, you know, you go so far and your eyes are just opened to possibilities, and it's just amazing, right? I'm so energized and so excited, and I can't wait to share all of my lessons learned with you and to bring you along for the ride. So, a couple of things. I know this is going to be a long video. It's on YouTube, and with what's coming in the next year, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be diversifying. Not everything is going to show up here on this fan page. Some things will be in the group that I keep talking about, and some things will be exclusively on YouTube. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll have access to everything, and probably even get notifications when I post things out there, because I don't want you to miss out on my content, but I won't be able to post everything in here on this fan page. So that's one thing. The other thing, I just want to talk about the group that I keep talking about, and to let you know, it's ready. So next week I'll be going live with that, and for real, honest to goodness, next week it's going live. And I'm going live with it through what's called a conversion campaign. So it'll be going live outside of this group first, and then I will be sending an invite inside this group. So you'll be second wave invited into that group. So I'll let you know what it's all about, even though I already told you what it's about, but you'll be informed again next week. So now on to my review. All right, so I started out the year just thinking, you know, it's gonna be kind of a new thing, what the heck. I'll be a little bit more transparent with what I'm doing with my life and try something on for size. I am admittedly an introvert, painfully shy, and yeah, really, really shy. And this has been so transformative for me because I'm coming out of my shell. I've learned a lot of self-limiting issues that I had, and that is past tense. So with the realization of what was slowing me down and preventing me from progressing toward my goals, I have learned a lot of self-love and appreciation for my gifts. Not only appreciation for them, but just a realization, recognition of them. I've always known that I've had certain gifts and talents, but I think once you clear the air and recognize that you have room to grow and to bloom, I guess, for lack of any other term, you can start to recognize other gifts. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about in my lessons learned this year. So that is that if you declutter, I have decluttered, and that's been literal. So I've talked a lot about taking out the trash, and that's in a very literal sense. I have decluttered. I have gotten rid of a lot of excess. So if I had duplicates of items, or I've never really been a hoarder, but I've had a lot of items that I didn't necessarily have a purpose for. I'm no Marie Kondo, but I have looked at items in my surroundings and kind of assessed them and tried to determine if they were serving a purpose, if I was saving them for something in particular, or if I was actively using them. And if I was just saving them for a rainy day, maybe somebody else could be using them currently. So I've done a lot of donating and a little bit of selling, but mostly donating because it's more wise use of my time to just donate. And what that has done is it's freed up space. And for me, space is really important because clutter makes me anxious. It gives me a lot of stress to be cluttered. So I need a little bit more open space. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of open space, and that's really important for me because space is like stress. So if I'm feeling claustrophobic, if I'm feeling crowded, or just stressed in general from clutter, then I can't really think clearly, and that's just part of who I am. So the decluttering has really, really helped me a lot. And the decluttering has not just been in a physical sense, it's also been in an emotional sense, clearing out toxic relationships and so on, and that has freed up my heart for new things to come into my life. So it's same sort of thing. If your friends don't allow you the freedom to be authentically you, get new friends. Really, I've walked people out of my life this year because I felt that either they were toxic to me because they were not honoring my boundaries, or their expectations of me were not in line with what I felt I had to contribute to the world. They were wanting to take from me more than I was willing to give, or specifically things that I think were not necessarily in my best interest. And I don't feel the need to really elaborate on that. I think we all have relationships that are not necessarily in line with our best interests. So moving along, without those particular relationships in an active status in my life, it has allowed me to focus more time and energy on the relationships in my life that are good. And the better relationships in my life are with people who recognize me as a whole. They don't just see me as a caretaker or as a parental role, or as a pick one, as a romantic partner. They don't see me as just a sexual relationship. So my friends, my closest friends, recognize me as somebody who likes to sing, or who likes to be silly, or who likes to go and do something healthy, like take a hike or a walk or a bike ride, or to maybe dance, or maybe none of the above, maybe to go out and eat, but cook. I don't know, there's lots of different fun things that we can do that are healthy. But the cool thing about spending time with the people who appreciate me for who I authentically am is I never feel like I have to put on an act with them. And even though maybe I wasn't putting on an act with the other people that I walked out of my life, I did feel like I was compartmentalized, that it was just a very specific aspect of me that existed in that relationship. And I don't want to live my life as the Tammy who exists in this relationship versus the Tammy who exists in other relationships. I do understand that there are some times when I do need to wear a separate hat. Like the Tammy who exists in church during a service probably is going to be different than the Tammy that exists during karaoke night, but only slightly. And that's just because I'm going to be a little bit more goofy during karaoke night than I would be during a church service, but only a little bit. It's just controlled. It's not totally different. And I have been in relationships where my personality was so totally different because I felt that certain aspects of me just weren't accepted, allowed, understood, appreciated. I could go on and on and on with the terms, but I can't be in a relationship where I'm not understood or appreciated or accepted or allowed, or I don't have the room, the freedom to be me. If I can't crack a joke or be silly, why am I here, right? That doesn't make any sense. So if you can't be authentically you in a relationship, I would seriously question the relationship. Obviously, we can't pick our relatives, that's different, but you certainly can pick your friends. So another thing that I definitely learned and put into practice this year is being very selective about who I am maintaining my relationships with. One of the very important things that I learned this year was that any dream worth having is worth converting into a goal. So what I mean by that is that having a dream pretty much keeps it in the realm of someday, maybe it's a possibility. I don't want to live in the world of possibilities. I want to live in the world of probabilities. So in order to change a possibility to a probability, for me, that means set a goal. And I can set a goal that's broken into a million little pieces. It doesn't have to mean that my goal is making the dream attainable this year, this month, this week, today, this afternoon. It can still be attainable 20 years from now, but maybe there's one thing that I can do today or this week or this year that will get me just a little bit closer. Maybe I just need to start saving. If it's a super expensive thing that I want to purchase or a place that I want to go and the cost just keeps it way out in possible land rather than probable land, if I make it a goal and I start saving toward it, then the more I commit to saving to it, which is a goal, the closer it comes to reality as I stay committed to it. So that's how I am making progress and getting closer to turning my dreams into reality by selectively choosing to turn my dreams into goals and taking action toward them. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this, about how to be more intentional with actions and choices and planning, scheduling, being more organized, and making it happen. So that kind of takes me into another, maybe even the last biggest life lesson that I came out of this year with, and that's that I think for me personally, I think I had become too comfortable. And what I mean with that is I've been doing really, really well at life. I've worked really hard at my jobs and maintaining my health. I worked really hard over the last couple of years to drop weight, to get into what I feel is probably the best physical health I've maybe ever been in as an adult. My weight is exactly where I want it to be. My fitness is exactly where I want it to be. I've tended to some physical ailments that I needed to have tended to, surgeries and things like that. I still have a few other things that I need to tend to, but I'm working on stabilizing and dealing with things prior to when I need to have surgeries, so that I don't have anything major going on in the meantime. A lot of things you can put off, so that's what I'm trying to do, just put off and live my life in the meantime. And it's not necessarily a bad thing for me to do that. And this is, of course, working with my physicians all along. So the other thing is, being comfortable. So yes, I've been doing really well for myself, working hard on physical nutrition, weight, fitness, things like that. But I don't think that I had really been doing anything to push myself further than kind of mediocrity until this year. So this year, I decided that mediocrity was not good enough, and that it was more important for me to be happy than to be comfortable. So with growth comes discomfort. So if you want to grow, if you want to change and grow, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. So that was a big, maybe even the biggest lesson learned for me this year, is that if I want to be happy, I need to make room in here and in my surroundings to allow the good things to come into my world, and I need to be willing to get uncomfortable and to grow. And I need to be very, very intentional about my choices and my actions, and be very selective about who I surround myself with. And then I also need to make a point of not keeping everything that I learn to myself. So that's where you come in, and that's where I get to use my gift of gab and share my lessons learned with you as I go. So come on, 2022. This is going to be a great year moving forward. I can't wait to show you what's coming, because I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be a great year for all of us. So stick with me, folks. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I hope you're looking forward to 2022 as much as I am. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.